And we're live with Paddy Pimblett. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good, lad. I'm good.
Good to see you. It's chilled out as always.
Yeah, I've got nothing else to do at the minute, lad. So I've got my feet up. New cast on yesterday. So.
Okay. So, well, last time I spoke to you, you were waiting the surgery, but it was actually on your other hand, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was on my right hand, that one.
and then you've come back, and now this is happening. What is it? Exactly the same injury, or?
No. This one was a ligament. One of my ligaments. I'm a bit of an idiot, to be fair, because I got told to go and get this looked at last October when I was meant to fight Giannetti. And then obviously with that fight falling through, me not fighting, I didn't get it looked at. I just wanted to fight. So I ended up, didn't get my hand looked at, fought in March. And then obviously with lockdown and stuff, I never got my hand looked at till about June. And they said that I need surgery.
What I was going to say, last time we spoke as well, we were on a lot about mental health. And what I was going to ask you was, it's not going to affect you as much now because you're not probably in the gym anyway, are you? Or were you still going in?
No, I'm still, I can't really do anything because last time I did. Last time, as soon as I got me cast on like this, because I had a plaster cast the last few days, as soon as I got a cast on like this, I started training and was doing all sorts. And then my hand got infected. And I ended up having complications because my hand got infected, and that was due to the sweat.
All right, okay. So, that's interesting.
So at the minute, I still haven't done nothing. Like, literally, I've just been chilling, eating shit.
Okay. Going up to heavyweight.
Yeah, what? For once, I actually haven't gone that far. I'm only about 83 kg. I could still make fucking lightweight in about 2 weeks. But yeah, I've just been sitting around, lad, playing the Xbox, playing on Footy Manager on the iPad, lad. I've gotten it's quite boring, but I'd rather do this than do what I've done with the other hand, get it infected and have complications.
Yeah, of course.
But I got this hand done by the best wrist specialist in the country, Mike Hayton. So you want to see how small the incisions are, what he's went through, lad. The cut's about that big on my hand. So I don't even think
was it sort of a keyhole surgery, was it?
Yeah, it was like I've got a little hole that side and then two little holes that side. Know what I mean? Where if you look at the scar on that hand.
Oh right, yeah, much bigger.
And then
that would have took a lot. Well, it's not a surprise it got infected through the size of that scar.
Tell me about it, lad. Them cuts are massive, and the incision on me new is just brilliant, lad. You can tell that it's a different level of surgeon.
So the tier 3, obviously Liverpool's massive in the news at the moment. The tier 3 lockdown. I know that you'll have plenty to say about that. But politics aside, going forward, there's a lot about mental health, and you're one of the first people I thought of with gyms closing, with it being Liverpool. How, in the long run, once your hand's healed, how's that going to affect you?
In a big way, if I can't train, lad. In a very big way, but it's not even the fact that it affects me. It's the fact that it affects the rest of the city and the country. You know what I mean? I've got my mum's cousin, who's about 51 years of age, killed himself 3 weeks ago. You know what I mean? And that's before this lockdown shit got put back in. The amount of people who have had to kill themselves and hanging themselves, mainly over the past few weeks and months in my city, is a joke. It really is getting beyond a joke. And the lockdown helps it. Everything goes into it. You know what I mean? People are worried about money because of lockdown. They're worried about the businesses falling apart. They're worried about their health, their mental health. And some people just think that it's easier to end it. You know what I mean? When it's not, and it leaves it leaves hundreds of people with a different life who can't carry on like they did.
Well, Glenn Williams has just asked, what's the news with the gyms in Liverpool now? Standing together through all this tier 3 stuff. I think that's referring to that gym that refused to close, that got the £1,000 fine.
Yeah, I've seen that. It just shows how resilient our city is, because have you seen the GoFundMe page?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was up to 30 grand yesterday. I don't know if it's up to any more now. Do you think other gyms are going to sort of follow suit? I don't think everyone's going to get 41 grand in.
No, to be honest, I seen a brilliant comment on one of the things about the GoFundMe money. They said, instead of using that money to pay fines, you should use that money to take them to court under Article 61 or something like that, where they can't do this to us, which I think is a better idea, to be honest. Pay the first few fines with that, but then let's get it into court and stuff like that.
It's interesting with gyms because at my gym, I'm sure it's the same in most gyms. It's so sort of clean and everyone's following the rules. It's a little bit different with pubs and bars because after those first couple of pints, everyone's all over each other and it's like, what are you doing? But
I'll be honest, if over lockdown I went out a couple of times and like before the 6 of the tables shite come in, nights out was still good. Nights out was still good. You were still having a good time with your mates, you know what I mean? Then this fucking rule of 6 shit come in and they're just trying to depress us and put us into fucking like submission, you know what I mean? It's mad. They just don't want us to live our life. Like I'm not one of these COVID deniers. I don't say it's fake. I don't come out and say, oh, it's a conspiracy, it's all fake. It's not. There's such thing as COVID, but I think they've blown it out of proportion on a next level basis. Nothing's been blown out of proportion like this ever. Like it's got a survival rate of 99.8%. That is just.
I know. It's just when it's going to end, isn't it? I don't think it is going to end until.
Know what the maddest thing about it is? I knew about coronavirus in like November. Because last November, because I was going to Thailand with my girlfriend,
right,
and she was paranoid to death. She's going, it's going to get cancelled. We're not going because of this coronavirus. Or I'm like, shut up, you divvy. It's going to be sound. It's going to be sound. And then we go to Thailand, come home, a fight, and the day after a fight, the world just goes into lockdown.
Yeah. Well, I remember going to Hong Kong a few years ago and thinking, bloody hell, everyone's wearing masks. This is craziness. And fast forward 2 years and going to my local shop and everyone's got a mask on.
It's like it's a bit of a joke.
It's a different world.
Like, it is a different world. That the mask thing is a joke. Like the mask doesn't make a difference. So why should you have to wear one? I remember actually looking. I looked into it when we were over there. Yeah, that feeds into the conspiracy theorists saying that they're using them to control us and they don't want you to have your own personality. So you've got that over your face. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Another question here, Peter Knox. What was your Twitter beef with Mokayev about? I stay away from your Twitter because it gets me going.
He's just a helmet, lad. He fought no one's, lad, and he tries to act hard on Twitter. It's mad, lad. He's fought people who are crabs. Fighting for fucking slave money over on Brave, lad. The fucking divvy.
I remember last time we spoke, you had a Twitter beef with someone about, remember that guy who was coming to your football match? A local football match.
Oh, Curtis Woodhouse.
Yeah, that was the one.
Used to be a boxer. Yeah, no, what to be fair, Woodhouse we had a back and forth, but he ended up being quite funny. To be fair, and I can take that all day, lad. When there's the amount of people who I've had arguments with on Instagram and Twitter, and then we've ended up speaking and being sweet, and we follow each other now. It's hilarious, lad.
I think we've had our own little arguments in the past.
Yeah, we probably have, lad. You know what I mean? I've argued with most people, but. You know, half it's social media stuff and it's you laugh at it, know what I mean? But Mokhayev's a bitch. Last time I seen him at a show, he fucking carsied. Chats all shit online, lad, but teaching and facing doesn't want to say nothing, lad.
Right. Well, the king at the moment of Twitter and Instagram is Darren Till, isn't it? He's going a bit wild. He's loving lockdown.
Lad. He's fucking funny on it, lad, to be fair. He is, lad. He's fucking
with that in the corner was great, wasn't it? Bidding to go into Harry's corner. Yeah. No, it's Harry's corner. Bidding. Did you see that? When he bid to go into his corner and then he said, right arm waits to throw the towel in.
Lad, he's hilarious, lad, though, you know, like putting stuff up like that about of his beard. Lad, if I done something like that on my beard, lad, she fucking stabbed me in my sleep. Lad, he's hilarious, lad. He puts all his stuff up on it to wind his beard up, lad. My beard would fucking do something back to me by now. Careful.
So you were on the original artwork for the trilogy that's just gone. You were right centre slap bang in the middle of the artwork with your picture with your arms up. How long before the fight did you realise that it wouldn't be happening for you?
To be honest, I was looking just doing the fight anyway and then getting surgery, to be honest, but everyone around me decided against it, and it was a good idea, to be honest, because I never listened to them in September 2018 when I lost, so I had to listen to everyone this time, and everyone said to me, "Don't do it. You'll regret it if you lose." And they were right. So I never done it, and ended up getting surgery on the 29th.
And then Couples again has asked any chance you'll be ready for the next trilogy.
Lad, I'd love to. You know,
Do you think you'll be ready?
I'd love to, lad. Lad, you never know. Hopefully I can recover like Thanos, lad, or Deadpool. You know what I mean? And I'm ready to go, lad. But like I said, when I fought back, I just had surgery, and he knew it. And when I was going for that rear naked choke on him, he was just wrist locking my right hand, and just popping bones in my hand in the first round for a laugh. You know what I mean? And then I punched him with it in the second and fully broke my hand. So I don't want that to happen again. I don't want to be sitting out for another 18 months waiting for my hands to get better and stuff.
Your fight where you made your comeback was one of the first to be held. I remember because I was supposed to be going in London. It was the same weekend as the UFC event on the Saturday, and it was a standing event on the Friday. I remember because I got the ticket, and then last minute it was moved to Manchester, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So yours was one of the first. Well, it was pretty much the first card to be held behind closed doors. So you didn't have much time to really think about that. But did it affect you at all?
Nah. Like I've said to people, it's different coming out because there's no one there. You're just like, wow, this is weird. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can hear Paul singing my song behind me, and not like the crowd. Like that. That's just weird. It's like a spa. I've described it. It didn't feel like a fight. You know what I mean? It felt like a spa.
I think for you, and I've actually got this question written down. Nothing away from your fighting ability, but for you, you have that connection with the fans. A lot of your selling point is that sort of connection with the fans. So I didn't know whether you have to sort of go into it with a different mindset, because you can tell you feed off the crowd more than a lot of other fighters. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, that is fair to say. You know what I mean? I do. I love fighting for the crowd. It's why we do this. You know what I mean? For people to watch and people to have a good time watching. And it's just not the same. You know what I mean? I can understand McGregor saying he doesn't want to fight until there's a crowd.
Yeah, well, he's exactly the same, isn't he?
It's just not the same.
And you made quite quick work of that fight. I don't know how to word this, but you waited all that time to get back into the fight, and then it finished quite quick. Was it the first round?
Yeah. I think it was like 3 minutes or something.
Yeah. So was that a relief to get in and get the win, or was it sort of, I've waited all that time for it to last that long and made quite easy work of it? Or you get paid easier?
Yeah, you don't even think about that when you get in there. I just wanted to beat him up, lad. Know what I mean? I wanted to win. I wanted to remind everyone that I haven't gone nowhere. And that's what I've done it for. Know what I mean? And I said before the fight, he's getting finished in the first round because he's not on my level, and I proved it. Know what I mean? So we'll. I just can't wait to fight again already, lad. It's doing me fucking head in.
I remember our last conversation and how desperate you were to get back in. That's why I asked that question. Just in hindsight, now you're back on the shelf again. Now
I know
it must be driving you crazy.
I'd love to get on that other cage where you're still as you lad. I'd love to, but I've got to think of my health and my longevity and my career. Know what I mean? I want to be fighting for another 10, 15 years, so I can't fucking break this hand and I'll end up having 2 surgeries on each hand if I rush back in and get
of course.
This
There's no point in rushing.
So
did you watch this? Go on, sorry.
No, so I was just like, I can't rush back in. I can't end up hitting my hand again. I've got to think of my career and not just one fight. But it does piss me off because I've missed Night of Champions, Cage Warriors, the Trilogy, the first one, and the Trilogy, the second one. You know what I mean? It pisses me off missing the big cards, but just got to get on with it, haven't you?
Did you watch the Trilogy?
Yeah, I watched.
Did you watch it? Yeah. Which fighters were impressing you the most there on that night?
Ian Gary.
All the 3 nights.
Ian Gary looked very good. Mason Jones, you got to take your hat off to him. He's fucking... he's very good.
Jack Cartwright had a good performance.
Yeah, Jack Cartwright. It was too easy, that.
Luke Shanks, that was a good fight.
Lad, Shanks.
Yeah.
Absolutely give it to him. Lad.
Yeah, it's good fight.
That's one of the biggest one-sided beatdowns I've ever seen in Cage Warriors, lad. Out that kids, give the Frenchie his due. He survived, lad. But
Yeah,
Shanks
well, he was a champion as well, wasn't he?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Shanks put a naughty beat down on that. I thought Shanks was going to win anyway. Though, I was speaking to Justin before he was down there with him, and I thought Shanks was going to get the win.
And Aaron Khalid against Mick Stanton.
Yeah, that was fast, lads. That's the
that
thing.
Was, I was one of those most excited for because I know both of them, and they're both top guys. And I was like, I'm tuning in for this fight, getting early. About 10 seconds, like, right, go and log off.
It's always the way, isn't it? Always
the
one you want to watch.
The one you want, yeah, exactly, gone is. I remember the first proper UFC I've really stayed up for was the Holly Holm armbar when she just ran up. It wasn't even a knockout, she ran after. I can't remember it. Was it Kat Zingano?
Yeah, it was Kat Zingano and Razi.
And she just ran at her and she armbarred us literally 5 seconds before I stayed up till 6 in the morning to watch this.
The Aldo one.
That didn't feel real. At least that was a knockout. At least it was a knockout.
We stayed up for that, lad. We waited for that fight for like 18 months, 2 years.
Yeah, exactly.
Stayed up for it. The fight before it was a scrap. And you're thinking, this is going to be heavy. And then he just plants that left hand and puts him sharp.
But he was lucky in a way because he got caught as well, didn't he?
Yeah, he was.
So imagine that double knockout. I don't know if that would have been better or worse as something to stay up for.
That would have been weird, lad, because he wouldn't have to wait another year for the fight.
It'd have been like last man standing on WWE. Who gets up first is crowned the winner.
Everyone's like that. 1, 2.
Brilliant. So Mason Jack look like they're going to the UFC now. And we've got a question. Where were we going there? Someone asking.
Defo me and Jack Grant.
If you were, it's MMA Pirate. If you were to join UFC, who would you want to fight first?
It's a good question. I'd like to fight Amir Makhwani.
Okay, why?
Because he gets beat up in a round.
Perfect answer. No white starting with an hard one, eh?
He does, lad. He gets beat up in a round, or Jared Gordon, who'd be fishy.
Right. Okay.
Know what I mean? That's another nice fighter. I think I'd win in a round.
Now he's fishy. I've not spoken to him for a while. He's worse than you actually for getting back to messages. He's 10 times worse.
He is.
He's like one text every 3 weeks.
He's hard work, lad. You've got to keep on him, lad. He's hard work.
I always think
knows it.
I mean, these conversations like that, you'll talk to him face to face, and he'll just get back to you in 3 weeks with his answer.
Lad, you're talking to him about something, and he just rambles on about something else, and just completely forgets what you've just been talking about.
The conversation from 3 months ago.
Yeah, you just think, lad, what are you on about fish?
Brilliant. Because he just texted me out the blue once. I texted him. He gave me his number on Instagram randomly. I texted him, never replied. And it must have been 2 months later. Hi, it's Fishy. Yeah, I'd love to do the interview. And I thought, okay, nice one, we'll arrange it. And I've not heard back. That was 6 months ago. So I didn't even ask for his number. He just gave it me out the blue.
Lad, that's him to a T, lad. That really is him to a T.
Anyway, he's had mixed fortunes. How's he doing? Is he okay? He's had mixed fortunes in the UFC.
Yeah, he's been unlucky. We should have performed better in the Jared Gordon fight, and he would have got the win there, definitely. You know what I mean? But it's one of them. It's how you turn up on the night, and if you're not well, if you're not feeling under the weather and stuff, it's gonna get to you, isn't it? Yeah,
of course. Molly's okay now.
Yeah, of course. Molly's good. Molly's fucking great, lad. Molly's great, apart from the fact she's a blue nose. You know what I mean?
Oh, big game on Saturday.
Yeah.
Saturday. Hey, who would have thought Everton topped the league going in against Liverpool, win off a 7-2 defeat?
Mad, isn't it?
2020 couldn't get any crazier.
I said it to all my blue nose mates, though, lad. Like, that's the worst result. What could have happened for them, Or getting beat 7-2 by Villa, because we're gonna fucking swat them now.
Do you think the international breaks helped you?
I think it's hindered them more, because our players are sitting there thinking, oh my God, they've just been swatted 7-2 by Villa. When's the next game? And they're like, 2 weeks, lad, the derby. Like, yeah, watch then. You know what I mean? That's all they're thinking. I reckon we're going to win about 4-1.
As a neutral, this is the most excited I've been for a Merseyside derby.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Anytime I can remember.
I've been talking to my mate, Desi. the last 2 days, 3 days, and we're saying it's the most excited I've been for the derby in a long time. A long time.
Especially with that defeat for Liverpool, it's just
we've
going to
got
be
to
really
come back
interesting.
and show them, haven't we? Got to come back and show everyone we're still the
cool.
kiddie.
One thing I wanted to ask you with, it's different with Cage Warriors to UFC in that if you're the champion and you sort of do 2 or 3 defenses, you're probably going to go to the UFC. But does that make it harder for someone, say you're third in line for that title shot, and then that champion sort of gives up their belt and you've got to fight someone maybe you've just been beaten? Does that make it harder to make your progression?
Well,
does that make sense?
I don't know, to be honest. I think I know what you mean, like with the belt and that, but I don't know what's happening with Mason, to be honest. Mm-hmm. Personally, I think he should get signed. He's good enough to get signed. Know what I mean? He's proved it. But I can't see him having another Cage Warriors fight.
Right, okay.
And I can see him fighting Jack Grant on the trilogy.
Right.
Which, I'll be honest, that leaves it perfect for me, mate. Because one of them wins, and I'll know what I mean. One of them wins, and I'll probably go to the UFC, and I'll fucking fight for the belt when it's there.
Yeah. So you don't think it really sort of hinders? Yeah, I suppose if you win the belt and then you defend it 2 or 3 times, then you're going to be looked at by UFC. So I suppose
I'll be honest, that lightweight belt probably won't even get defended. Like, I'll probably just
you don't think so?
Hip, skip, and jump along to the UFC.
But if you went in there and fought Mason Jones in his next fight and you won, that'd propel you a lot higher than if you fought someone who won the belt after Mason Jones
it would.
Relinquished it, if that makes sense. Yeah. So that's all I was asking about on that.
Like I've said it in plenty of interviews, I don't think me and Mason will fight each other on Cage Warriors. Just because we're both signed by Intensity, we're both managed by Graham. So I can't see us fighting each other on Cage Warriors. I can see Mason either having one more title defense and then going, or he's just going to go and fight on Fight Island. And if that happens, I can see Jack Grant fighting someone for the vacant belt while I'm still injured, and then when I get back, I'll fight the winner. The other scenario is Mason fights Jack, beats Jack, Mason goes to the UFC, the belt becomes vacant, I fight for it when I'm not injured.
Get you in for that title shot pretty soon, do you think?
Yeah. I would have been the lightweight champ already if it weren't for me gay right hand, lad. You know what I mean? My right hand being a proper mushroom on me, lad, when I was going for a rear naked choke and I couldn't squeeze. So
fighters we should be looking out for from your gym?
Yeah, there's a good few, lad, to be honest. Little Connor Wilson of flyweight or bantamweight. The Wasp, we call him. Connor the Wasp Wilson. He's a black belt in karate, lad. He's been doing karate since he was a proper kid. You know what I mean? And you want to see some of the kicks he whips out, lad. You can be stood this close to him and he's still kicking in the face. I think Connor's 1-0 now. And then we've got a few other young guns coming through, lad. We've got like Adam Cullen, who's a lightweight and a welterweight. Probably going to go down to lightweight at pro. He's going pro. Liam Malloy, you've probably heard of. He's 1-1 pro now. Got caught in his last fight and lost, but he'll be coming back stronger than ever.
2 of them got pulled off, didn't they, of the card?
Oh, yeah, that was a joke.
Like, that was
there's no them, know what I mean? I wouldn't call Wilson or Nathan or Ventry a prospect because everyone knows them. They're not prospects. They're going to go far anyway. Everyone knows it.
There's a good random question. Bare knuckle boxing. Says fancy bare knuckle, Paddy.
With these hands, lad. With these hands, I don't know. You'd have to wrap me up good and proper. When my hands get better, lad, I probably would, though, to be fair. If the money's right, lad, and there was a decent opponent, I probably would. You know what I mean? It's something to do with it. I hate just fucking doing nothing. And I'd rather be fighting than doing anything else. Like I said, if I'm not fighting or training or something, I'm just sitting in my room, lad, on the Xbox or playing Footy Manager.
Peter, his favourite question. If you could change one rule in MMA, what would you change?
Kicking to the head on the floor. I'd have them back in. Yeah. soccer kicks. I've always wanted to fight them rules. Know what I mean? My whole life, I watched Pride when I was a proper kid. Know what I mean? And watching Wanderlei and that just boot people in the head was great at the time. Like obviously we know that we know how bad it is, but I'd just love to have one fight like that. And I'm trying to think if there's another rule I could say. Oh, the 12-6 elbows is probably a rule just because it's stupid. You can't throw an elbow like that, but you can throw it like that. Know what I mean? It's a bit stupid for me.
I think we saw a big example of it the other week was the fight ending sequence. There has to be a fight ending sequence before the ref can view.
Yeah,
that's a very strange rule.
it is. It's like another one that I seen Holloway and stuff like that putting up. That was they should show the scorecard between rounds. That's one rule. What is a good shout to change? Know what I mean? Because I'll be honest, I watched the it's mad because it was 2 years ago when I fought him, but I didn't watch the fight back, the full 5 rounds, until 4 weeks ago. And I watched it back and I heard the judge's scorecard and was like, what fight were you watching, lad? Lad, I heard one of the judge's scorecards at the end was 48-44, and I was like, what? How?
When you get 27 one way and 30-27 the other way, they should be explaining what they're scoring.
They should be explaining what they're scoring, lad. It's mad. Like, I watched that fight and I definitely won the first round. That was a 10-8. I thought I won the second. And then I thought he won the next 3, 10-9, 10-9, 10-9. So it should have been a draw. And you've got one of the judges scoring a 48-44. And he was defo on a crack pipe cage side him.
There's another question here. Where did that go? Give me your best trash talking line.
I don't know, people have to get under my skin to say stuff like that, Know what I mean? But ask anyone who's got under my skin, lad. I go deep. Know what I mean? I start mentioning people's mas and nans and that, lad. You don't want to go there.
I think I remember you and Molly doing a Twitter roast me. That was hilarious.
Yeah, that was when we were both fighting on Cage Warriors, and they come in and they got a few tweets up where people are being leathering us. And like, lad, I'm proper used to it now, lad. I've had that since the Cage Warriors forum. Know what I mean? I've had people chatting shit about me for about 10 years, lad. I'm just used to it.
If somebody put LOL and you just said LOL, lad.
Yeah, lads. You can't put LOL. You've got to just put ha 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 ha, or you're a bad wool.
Last question for you is going back to computer games, because I've noticed you on Call of Duty a lot at the moment.
Yeah.
How are you doing on that?
All right, to be fair, I've been terrible for FIFA for years, lad. Like every young lad is, know what I mean? Every single year I get FIFA. And last year, lad, I played it for the first month or two and just thought, this is shit. This is proper snide. And I deleted it, lad, in like February, March. I deleted it off my Xbox. I was just been playing Call of Duty and Red Dead Redemption. And like, I've still just been on the Call of Duty. And like, the new FIFA's out and I haven't bought it because I'm still pissed off with the album.
And it's actually a very good game if you can get over the licensing stuff.
Yeah, lad, know what? A few people have said how realistic the new Pro Evo looks.
To get used to the tactics and stuff, but it's really worth it for 25 quid. It's worth a bash.
Might have to have a little go with that.
Yeah. Teach you a few tricks. You say, any thoughts of starting a Twitch? Because that would be hilarious.
A witch?
A Twitch, not a witch. A Twitch. You know what Twitch is?
That's what I mean. What's a Twitch? No.
Well, Robert Whittaker's got one. But you basically, you're playing the game and you're in the corner and you're just sort of talking about what's happening. Not describing it, but you're just sort of talking people through, or you start shouting at people. And I think that'd be gold for you.
It would be gold for me, you're right, but lad, I'd end up getting nicked for some of the stuff I say when I get killed. Start shouting at the telly, lad.
People subscribe to it. They pay monthly fees to watch people play games.
Lad, know what? Now you've said it, I'm gonna put on my Twitter and my Instagram a little poll. saying I've been asked to start a Twitch. What do you think, people?
And people might think,
Because lad, I've got a bad tempo when I get going, especially when I'm on like a 9-kill streak and someone jumps out and snipes me, no scopes me, lad, while I'm one off a chopper gunner. Oh, what's happened there? Can't hear. No. Nah, weird. I can't hear. I don't know what's happened. You sound like you're underwater or something.
yes.
Oh, wait there. Now I can hear you. I've just heard you then. Funny that, you know.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're more than welcome.